I woke up yesterday morning to discover that YouTube emailed me at 2:18 a.m. stating they had removed our video in the middle of the night due to us violating their medical misinformation policy. We're going to discuss which video they blocked, review why they would block it, and look at how they want to silence our voices. I suppose the question should be asked, will they silence you next? Welcome to Into the Age. I'm Vince Stegall here with Doug Norvell. We are taking your calls today. The number to call is 1-877-Endtime, 1-877-363-8463. Well, we have new things to talk about in regards to censorship. We have a very fresh email from YouTube, and actually it's quite unbelievable, but we will get into that information over the next hour. Before we do, I want to tell you that on top of censorship that Big Brother and big media and big social media, all these different companies are trying to impose on us, there is censorship that the enemy, Satan, would want to impose on me and you. Satan does not want you to know about Revelation Volume 1 and Volume 2. Irvin Baxter spent over 50 years and hundreds of thousands of hours studying Bible prophecy in the book of Revelation. This is why Satan doesn't want you to know about it. He created the most easy to understand commentary in his series and book, Revelation, the Unveiling of Jesus Christ, Volume 1 and 2. You, everybody out there watching or everybody out there listening, you can unlock the complexity of Revelation and eliminate any fear that might be in your heart or in your mind about the end time. Irvin's going to guide you through this mysterious book, chapter by chapter, so you can get Revelation Volume 1 or Volume 2 for a minimum donation this month only of $150. Or if that's too hard for you to do, we have an option for 5 interest-free auto donations of $30. So that's $299 value at an unbelievable discount. Go to endtime.com/rev to get this special while supplies last. You can also call 1-800-ENDTIME and ask the agent over the phone to get you that special. You need to act fast. We're running out of supplies, and it'll expire at the end of the month if we have supplies left. Doug, you've been through that series. I think you would agree that Satan surely does not want anybody out there to go through that series.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why is that?
Well, because the way the series is put out, there's just so much great information, and like you said, it's so easy to understand the way that Pastor Baxter teaches it. The enemy doesn't want us to know that there's hope for what's coming in the end time. He doesn't want us to know his plans. You know, like Revelation chapter 13 is the plan of the devil. And what his plan is to set up that world government, that world religion, that world economic system. He doesn't want people to have that information. So what's he going to do? He's going to try to keep you from getting that.
Yep. So you can do that this month at endtime.com/rev. It's also available on Into the Age Plus, which we are going to be talking about a little bit today because, like I mentioned a few moments ago, 2:18 in the morning, YouTube sneaks in the middle of the night like they do, and they deleted one of our videos. And I'm reading it like, what in the world? It's from Open Line this last Friday.
Open Line.
I mean, we talked about, is Emmanuel Macron the Antichrist earlier in the week?
Yeah.
And that one passed. But the one about whatever you guys want to talk about, it got not only restricted, but totally removed from YouTube. You can't find this video anywhere on YouTube. It's absolutely unbelievable. As much as I hate doing it, I went back and listened to it again because I sure don't like to hear me talk, but I went back and listened to the show again going, what in the world did we say in there that was medical misinformation? And I couldn't find anything.
Yeah.
And so I thought, what in the world does that mean? But let me read this email to you first because I don't want to misrepresent anything that they said. I want to say it exactly how they did. Here's the email. Our team has reviewed your content, and unfortunately, We think it violates our medical misinformation policy. We've removed the following content from YouTube. It's open line 434. We know that this might be disappointing, but it's important to us that YouTube is a safe place for all. Thanks, YouTube. Now, that's my commentary. Thanks, YouTube. If content breaks our rules, we remove it. If you think we've made a mistake, you can appeal, and we'll take another look, which I'm going to do. Keep reading for more details. How your content violated the policy. YouTube doesn't allow content that explicitly disputes the efficacy of local health authorities or World Health Organization guidance on social distancing and self-isolation that may lead people to act against that guidance. Of course, you can learn more there. How this affects your channel. Because it's the first time, this is just a warning. If it happens again, your channel will get a strike and you won't be able to do things like upload, post, or live stream for 1 week.
Wow.
So they're going to block us for a week if we do it again. What to do next? We want to help you stay on YouTube, so please make sure you understand YouTube's community guidelines and strikes basics. Review your content with our policy in mind. If after reviewing your content you think you made a mistake, let us know. You can appeal this decision here. So we're going to appeal the decision. What are your thoughts about that email, Doug? When I sent that to you, what were you thinking that you can share here?
Well, to keep from being censored, I thought to myself, what in the world could we have said? We played a video that day of the press secretary of the White House stating that they had been in communication with social media. I thought, okay, well, maybe that's what it was. Maybe the fact that we showed this video upset them, that we had a video talking about how they were going to censor Facebook and other social media. But, I couldn't really figure out what it was. I know that I made a couple of comments, just, personal comments. Thought maybe that could be it. I don't know. Still don't know.
Well, I was just like, okay, did someone call in? I thought maybe a caller had said something that wasn't exactly like what is approved on their end.
Right.
And then that's what got us blocked. But like I said, I went back through it. I can't find it. So if any of you out there know what it was, please let us know so we can fix it maybe or do something about it. Like maybe we can just trim that part out of the video and get it back up. I don't know what to say. All I know is that they have imposed this on us. YouTube is a very popular platform, as you are well aware. We reach tens of thousands of people via YouTube every single month. We have almost 100,000 subscribers there. We want everyone on YouTube to be able to see this content. We believe that our God-given purpose is to share the truth, whatever it may be. And so it's critical that Endtime Ministries, End of the Age, is on YouTube. And so we're going to fight to make sure that we stay on YouTube because we believe there's plenty of people there that need to hear this message. And so we're not done with this at all, but we wanted to give you an update that it has been removed. We have made it available. Go to endtime.com/restricted and you'll be able to watch that video that has been removed, deleted entirely from YouTube. And there's several other videos there as well that you can watch that have been restricted on YouTube as well. We're going to get into more of the details of this after the break, so don't go anywhere. Give us a call, 1-877-ENDTIME, 1-877-363-8463.
We've seen Bible prophecy fulfilled like never before. From the halls of the United Nations to the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, End Time Ministries continues to reveal the Bible prophecy in the news headlines around the world every day. Whether it's through our broadcast or online at our Jerusalem Prophecy College, your gifts enable us to put vital materials in the hands of those who need it most. Because of you, we continue to replace fear with faith in the hearts of Christians around the world. We will continue to see prophecy come to pass at an even swifter pace. We need your support. Your donation of any amount enables us to continue to broadcast and be a voice in the ever-growing censored media. To become a partner or give a one-time gift, visit endtime.com or call 1-800-END-TIME right now. That's 800-363-8463. Go online now. Visit endtime.com.
Does the book of Revelation frighten you? Do its symbols confuse you? For centuries, the book of Revelation has been misunderstood and misinterpreted. In Revelation, the unveiling of Jesus Christ, Volume 1, Irvin Baxter unlocks the mystery of the Book of Revelation with in-depth analysis and commentary like you've never heard before. This 10-part definitive DVD series and 268-page comprehensive commentary book covers the first 12 chapters of the Book of Revelation, featuring on-location photography, classic artwork, and symbolic illustrations. You'll walk away with complete understanding and peace about the events happening during the final years on Earth. These comprehensive study tools, available for $299, will deepen your biblical understanding as you dig into the original intent of the book, answering the mysterious prophecies and symbols of the Book of Revelation. Don't miss this special offer. Call now, 1-800-END-TIME, or go to endtime.com to order. Call or go online now to get this comprehensive Bible study.
Welcome back to End of the Age. Vince Stegall here with Doug Norvell. We have open lines at 1-877-END-TIME, 1-877-363-8463. Talking about how YouTube has censored Endtime yet again. Before the break, we read an email that we received from them. And in that email, there's a Learn More option. And we're going to go to that and look and see what in the world would be the reason for them removing our video entirely. You cannot find this video anywhere on YouTube. They deleted it, removed it where you cannot find it unless you go to other options. That video is available at watch.endtime.com. You can find it quickly at endtime.com/restricted, but it's available on End of the Age Plus. So we do have an alternative in place. If YouTube were to ban us indefinitely, End of the Age Plus is set up to be able to be uncensored. It has all the content that we could possibly share, has tons of historical information from Irvin Baxter, Dave Robbins, and our daily show here that we produce every weekday. And so everything is there. There's books, there's old sermons from Irvin when he was pastoring. So there's some from 1986 before I was even born, Doug, and all throughout the 90s. We've got tons of sermons from Irvin there. There's just content everywhere on End of the Age Plus. So go to watch.endtime.com. It's a 14-day free trial. There's also tons of free content on there available where you don't even have to pay. So we wanted to make that available to you. We do offer this show every single day. If you're listening to it on the radio, if you're watching it on Facebook or YouTube or anywhere else, it's totally free. And we're going to keep making this show free for as long as we possibly can. If you appreciate that and you appreciate the content that we provide, like I said before, we feel like it's our God-given purpose to share the truth no matter what it is. And if you appreciate that, if you want to team up with us, we survive off of the donations of partners like you. So go to endtime.com/give and you can partner with us either recurring or one time. Now, Doug, I do want to remind everybody before we get into the details of this YouTube policy that there is a conference this weekend in Houston, Texas. Dave and Jana, Judy will be there as I understand it. So if you're in the Houston, Texas area, be sure to go join David, Jana, and Judy, and I think perhaps others. I'm not sure who all's going from Endtime, but we'll have a team down there. We would love to meet you. Dave is going to be speaking on Saturday, July 24th at 6 p.m. and Sunday, July 25th at 11 a.m. You can learn more about those details at endtime.com/events. Make plans to do that in Houston, Texas. All right,
it's a
Doug.
beautiful church there too. That church is amazing. I love that church.
Never been.
It's very beautiful.
Maybe I'll go this weekend.
Well,
No.
maybe you should. Kaylee went to one there, and she was impressed with the church too. So.
Cool. Well, you can find out the address at endtime.com/events. Now, COVID-19 medical misinformation policy. When I click Learn More in the email, that is where it took me to that page. And here's what the page says. This is from YouTube. The safety of our creators, viewers, and partners is our highest priority.
The safety.
Their safety is the highest priority.
So we did something that made people unsafe.
Apparently, but we're not making fun of anybody, Doug.
I'm not saying
We're not
anything.
going against this policy.
I'm trying to be as quiet as I can.
We are just reading what they're saying.
Okay.
We look to each of you to help us protect this unique and vibrant community. It's important you understand our community guidelines and the role they play in our shared responsibility to keep YouTube safe. Take the time to carefully read the policy below. So I thought, okay, I will read this long, annoying article. so I can better understand why we got deleted. YouTube doesn't allow content about COVID-19 that poses a serious risk of I'm going to mess that word up, Doug. I'm almost made it. I'm not even going to say it. It causes a risk of harm. I'll go with that. YouTube doesn't allow content that spreads medical misinformation that contradicts local health authorities or the World Health Organization's medical information about COVID-19. This is limited to content that contradicts WHO or local health authorities' guidance on treatment, prevention, diagnosis, transmission, social distancing, and self-isolation guidelines, and the existence of COVID-19. I read that and I thought, well, man, we didn't talk about that. We didn't contradict any of that. So I kept reading. Don't post content on YouTube if it includes any of the following: treatment misinformation. I'm not going to share all of the points, but I found a few in here that seemed more interesting than the others, I suppose. Treatment misinformation. Don't share this on YouTube if it contains content that encourages the use of home remedies, prayer, or rituals in place of medical treatment, such as consulting a doctor or going to the hospital. That's the number one point there under treatment misinformation. Content that encourages prayer in place of medical treatment, such as consulting a doctor or going to the hospital. Content that I read fast there, so you couldn't comment. Content that recommends use of ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine for the treatment of COVID-19. So we're not allowed to talk about content that recommends that use. Okay, so don't talk about that, Doug.
My lips are sealed.
Claims that ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine are effective treatments for COVID-19. So we wouldn't be allowed to say that for YouTube content. We should also tell everyone that you asked me to try to talk more today.
I did.
So that you don't say something you shouldn't, right?
That's absolutely correct.
Before the people start hating on me, because there's some haters out there that say, Vince, you need to shut up and let Doug talk more. I wanted to make sure.
Trust me, today is not a good day for me to talk more.
All right. Next point, prevention misinformation. Content that promotes prevention methods that contradict local health authorities or WHO. You can't post this. Content that recommends use of, well, they say the same thing. Ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine for the prevention. You're not allowed to talk about that. You can't talk about claims that wearing a mask is dangerous or causes negative health effects. Claims that masks do not play a role in preventing the contraction of transmission of COVID-19. Claims about COVID-19 vaccinations that contradict expert consensus from local health authorities or WHO. Some of those claims are claims that an approved COVID-19 vaccine will cause death, infertility, miscarriage, autism, and contraction of other infectious diseases. Claims that an improved COVID-19 vaccine will contain substances that are not on the vaccine ingredient list, such as biological matter from fetuses or animal products. Claims that an approved COVID-19 vaccine will contain substances or devices meant to track or identify those who've received it. Claims that an approved COVID-19 vaccine will alter a person's genetic makeup. Claims that COVID-19 vaccines do not risk claims that COVID-19 vaccines do not reduce risk of contracting COVID-19. Diagnostic misinformation. This is another thing you're not allowed to post. Content that promotes diagnostic methods that contradict local health authorities or WHO. So you can't talk about you can't post content that claims that COVID-19 is not caused by a viral infection, or content that claims COVID-19 is not contagious. You also can't talk about social distancing or self-isolation misinformation. So you can't have content that denies the existence of COVID-19, that claims the virus no longer exists or that the pandemic is over. You can't make that proclamation. Claims that the symptoms, death rates, or contagiousness of COVID-19 are less severe or equally as severe as the common cold or seasonal flu. You're not allowed to proclaim that. So you couldn't go to the WHO website and read the data on COVID-19 and then also read the data on flu and do a comparison of the two if it violated this claim, right? That's what this is saying? I feel like you should talk, because I'm getting like people, I think.
That sounds like that's what that is saying, Vince.
Okay. Here are some, if you need examples, here's some videos you can't post. Videos alleging that if you avoid Asian food, you won't get the coronavirus. We can't make any of those videos. Videos alleging that setting off fireworks can clean the air of the virus and will prevent the spread of the virus. I've never heard that until I read this policy.
I haven't either, and I would not stop eating Asian food.
Claims that COVID-19 is caused by radiation from 5G networks. Videos alleging that social distancing and self-isolation are not effective in reducing the spread of the virus. Claims that wearing a mask causes oxygen levels to drop to dangerous levels. Claims that the COVID-19 vaccine will kill people who receive it. Claims that the COVID-19 vaccine will be used as a means of population reduction. Videos claiming that the COVID-19 vaccine will contain fetal tissue. Claims that the COVID-19 vaccine causes contraction of other infectious diseases or makes people more vulnerable to contraction of other infectious diseases. Almost done. Claims that the COVID-19 vaccine contains a microchip or tracking device. Claims that achieving herd immunity through natural infection is safer than vaccinating the population. Claims that the death rate from the seasonal flu is higher than the death rate of COVID-19. Educational, documentary, scientific, or artistic content. We may allow content that violates the misinformation policy. So now they're saying they may allow it if that content includes context that gives equal or greater weight to countervailing views from local health authorities or to medical or scientific consensus. What happened if contents violate this policy? Well, they'll remove the content, send us an email like they did. If it's our first time violating that guideline, you'll get a warning with no penalty. But if it's not, you'll start getting strikes against you. And after 3 strikes, your channel, within 90 days, your channel will be terminated. We've been on YouTube for 14 years. We have hundreds, thousands of videos at this point. We post a video there every single day, every single weekday. They would terminate our channel entirely if we got 3 strikes within 90 days.
I do not want to be the reason that we get 3 strikes.
I don't either, Doug. You can call us and talk to us about this as long as you don't break their guidelines.
None of those guidelines, please.
The number to call is 1-877-ENDTIME, 1-877-363-8463. We look forward to hearing from you. Now, Doug, we both went back and watched that and tried to figure out where we went wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, like I said at the beginning, we played a video of the actual White House's response to what they're doing with Facebook and social media. And so, you know, I don't know
we
if
played a video of Psaki.
Yeah, talked about it. And then we took calls, because it's open line.
We don't have to play the video again, but I'm having a hard time remembering what that video was about.
Well, we can play it. Let's play it. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know that it's ready, but if it's the thing that got us kicked off, we probably don't want to play it so that people can hear this. But I can't remember what it was about. Do you remember what it was about?
Yeah, it was just Jen Psaki telling reporters that they were indeed in constant contact with Facebook representatives and telling them that they had 12 people that were, I guess, like the dirty dozen that they were censoring, and they needed their content taken off because they were putting out misinformation about COVID and about the vaccine.
So we shared that clip, but we didn't, it didn't violate any of this stuff. That clip's all over YouTube.
Yeah.
It couldn't have been that clip.
More than once, people have shown it. Yes.
So what do we say?
I don't know. Vince, I can't tell you. I wish that I could tell you, but I can't because, well, it's just better for me not to say anything right now. We did find the list of the Disinformation dozen is what they're calling it.
Well, I did want to tell, before we go there, I did want to tell everybody that we have dozens of videos on Into the Age Plus that have been restricted. So YouTube has gone through over the years and restricted our videos and said we're not going to monetize these, or we're not going to allow people to see these. And what they do then is put us on this blacklist that includes child pornography. So we're on there with them.
Wow.
In some cases. And so if you're in an account that's from a library or a school account, you can't play certain videos because they're on the restricted list because you're on like a community account. And so they want to protect people. And so when we get restricted, even though the video may still be available, it's on that list to where if you're just a regular person or if you're not logged in at all and you search, in our case, open line, well, actually that video is deleted, so you can't find it no matter what. But if you were to search Planned Parenthood's agenda that Dave Robbins put out, it's a 4-minute video. You can't find that on YouTube under our account if you have one of those accounts. We have to send you a direct link to be able to discover that if you're in one of those community accounts. And so it puts you on a restricted list with child pornography and other things that have been deemed not safe for library consumption or anything like that.
There are music videos on YouTube that should be deemed unsafe.
Well, you know, that's exactly right, and that's what's so ironic is that it's hypocritical and it's based off of, you know, who feels like what today.
Yeah.
You know, if it's an expression of artistic inspiration or something like that, then it's okay. You can talk about, well, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say what they talk about in their videos that are on YouTube already. But
I certainly wouldn't.
Anyway, you can see these restricted videos that have been restricted by YouTube and Facebook and other places at our website. Go to endtime.com/restricted, and that'll take you to the page for End of the Age Plus, and you'll see right there in the #1 position the open line 434 that just got deleted entirely from YouTube. They don't want you to see it, so go to endtime.com/restricted and watch that video and many others that have been restricted. Sorry, Doug, we did find that list of the dozen that you wanted to bring up.
Yeah, well, I'm just happy we're not on the list. And some of these names I don't recognize, but some of them I do. So one is Joseph Mercola, Robert F. Kennedy
We're
Jr.
not going to go through the list.
Probably not. We'll have
There's
to do
the
this
music
afterwards.
saying stop talking.
Yeah.
Control room censoring us, Doug. Mercola is one of my favorites that I follow regularly, but maybe I'm not allowed to say that. But anyway, yeah, we're taking your calls at 1-877-ENDTIME, 1-877-363-8463. Give us a call. We'd love to chat with you today. Major internet companies are silencing and censoring Christian voices online. These companies are trying to control what you see and hear. Almost 200 videos of ours have been marked as restricted online right now. That's why we launched End of the Age Plus, a platform where the truth won't be censored, a platform where we can preach the message of the gospel. When you subscribe to End of the Age Plus today for just $12.99 a month, you can watch all of our content in a secure, easy-to-view way from your favorite device. When you go to watch.endtime.com and subscribe, you'll get instant access to all of our teaching resources, including Revelation, the Unveiling of Jesus Christ, Understanding the End Time, End Time Magazine, and so much more. We will not censor our message to comply with what the world deems as politically correct. Go to watch.endtime.com right now or search End of the Age Plus in the App Store or Google Play.
Move Mountains with Irvin Baxter. This book by Irvin's grandson provides 30 days of devotion that will enhance your relationship with God and others. Authentic illustrations from early morning devotions at Endtime will help you find your purpose and eliminate fears. Commit to taking this 30-day journey and experience real life change. Get your book for only $14.99. Call 1-800-363-8463 or go to endtime.com/move.
If your station only carries the first 30 minutes of End of the Age, go to endtime.com and click the watch button to continue today's broadcast. You can also finish up later by clicking the archive button.
Welcome back to End of the Age. Vince Seagal here with Doug Norvell. We have open lines at 1-877-ENDTIME, 1-877-363-8463. We recently got an email, actually yesterday morning, that YouTube has removed a video from our channel entirely. They don't want you to see it because they say it's medical misinformation. We have both reviewed it ourselves. We can't find anything that they're talking about. We had a call that mentioned, asked us if we had heard about something. I guess I shouldn't repeat what he said because maybe that was the thing. We responded with, we are not a medical show, so we probably wouldn't be doing a show about that information. We're going to talk about it from a prophecy perspective. And that was it. That's the best thing I could come up with on what might have got us flagged. We've gone through what their policy says. Doug, you're talking about the disinformation dozen. Before you do, I want to remind everybody that Dave and Jana and Judy and others will be in Houston, Texas this weekend doing a prophecy conference. You can find more about that at endtime.com/events. It's on Saturday at 6 p.m., Sunday at 11 a.m. You don't want to miss it if you're in the Houston area. Make plans to be there. Now, we're not on the dozen. We've established that. You gave us one, Joseph Mercola, Dr. Mercola. Number two, Robert Kennedy Jr. And where are we at?
So number 3 is Ty and Charlene Bollinger. 4 is Sherry Tenpenny. I've heard Dr. Tenpenny on some other programs.
She's been on Daystar, right? And others.
Yeah, and so I have heard of her, and of course Robert Kennedy Jr. I've heard of. Number 5 is Riza Islam. 6 is Rashid Buttar. 7 is Aaron Elizabeth. 8, Sayer, I guess is that G or
Sure.
Jai?
Sure.
Sayer Jai. Or,
Yeah.
And then number 9 is Kelly Brogan. 10 is Christine Northrup. And 11 is Ben Tapper. And 12 is Kevin Jenkins. So about probably 8 of those I haven't ever heard of.
Okay.
Now, you said that you were familiar with some of them. We get a lot of information here in the ministry every day, Vince. I get emails daily. I get, phone calls daily, text messages, messenger messages telling me, hey, you have to see this video. You have to see this. You have to see that. And I watch so many different things all day long. I look at the stuff just to see if there's anything that I need to understand about those things. So I've gotten everything. I know all the talk. I know everything that everybody's saying about every one of these situations because I feel like I've seen every video out there. So I might have seen some of these people in some of those videos and just don't recognize that I've seen it. But one thing that we don't do, I feel like on this show, is come on here and tell anybody what decision to make regarding how they deal with COVID or how they deal with the vaccine. We tell people, look, you have to do your own research. You've got to make your own decision. You have to, be your own information there and figure that out for yourselves because we're not medical doctors and we can't give medical advice.
But what we do is say, here's how it relates to Bible prophecy and that
Right.
it's certainly a precursor to Mark of the Beast, world government control type things.
Sure.
We can clearly see all that. I mean, it takes somebody that's willingly blinded to not look at that and see how that's happening, I guess.
I mean, absolutely. When they start talking about COVID vaccine passports, we had an article the other day that said they were planning on replacing the real ID with a COVID vaccination. Saw a video this morning with Boris Yeltsin talking about after a certain period, I think it was September of this year, that no one in Europe would be able to travel without that. No longer would it be okay for you just to present a negative test and say, I've been diagnosed negatively that I have COVID, so I can ride this bus. No longer will you be able to do that in Europe. They're going to make you have this vaccine. So when you look at that, yes, it does look like precursors to the Mark of the Beast, where Revelation 13 tells us you won't be able to travel, you won't be able to buy, sell, or trade, you won't be able to do anything without that Mark of the Beast. And so, we are here to present information. We use a lot of news stories. We've got news stories today that, that's how we help educate you on what's being said. And yes, we do insert a prophetic biblical stance on it because that's what we are as prophecy ministry. So
Well, we know for certain that big media, big government, they don't want us telling people what's coming.
right.
Like some of the videos that have been restricted is, let's see, Operation Euphrates Shield, ISIS involvement in World War III, Pope Francis equates capitalism with terrorism, 2 U.S. mass shootings response.
Yeah.
Will America forsake Israel? These are restricted videos. Planned Parenthood's agenda. Is God trying to bring revival to America through abortion laws? They don't want us to tell people about Bible prophecy and what we can foresee coming. I mean, this is really a good comparison to what we read about in Daniel when they are, throwing people in lions' dens if they don't worship this God. They're throwing people in fire pits if they don't bow down to this presented God.
Right.
And if you have this, we are going against the grain here. The Chosen intro reminds me of that fish swimming upstream against the other fish. Yeah. That's what we're trying to do, not because we want to be rebels or mavericks or anything like that. Our intent is to tell you the truth. It just so happens that there's so many people telling you a lie or trying to get you to believe propaganda that is going to benefit them on a world government scale. And we're going, hey, there's prophecies saying this is going to be happening near the second coming of Jesus Christ. These things are going to be in place. And here's what comes with that. Here's all this persecution that comes with that. So we're saying, wake up, let's shine a light on this darkness. And they don't want us to do that because it goes against their agenda. We've been restricted. We've been shut down. We've been kicked off of TV channels and radio stations. This has happened to us over the years on many occasions. And that is one of the primary reasons we launched End of the Age Plus, because we said, what happens when all these media companies shut Endtime off? What happens if overnight they say, we don't want to carry End of the Age anymore? We are not going to put you on the air. And guess what? Yesterday was your last time on the air. Well, now none of you have a way of knowing that we are still alive and still doing what we do. And so we said we have to provide everyone something where they can get our videos, get the truth that we're sharing, that God has given us. And so that's where End of the Age Plus was birthed. And so you can go there. There's tons of content on there for free. People will comment and say, oh, you guys just want my money. It's $12.99 a month for the paid content, but there's hundreds of hours, maybe thousands of hours at this point, of free content where you don't even have to pay. We want you to download the app and watch the videos that are free. If you want to pay for it, that does help us pay the bills. We have to pay developers to write the code for all this stuff. We've got to pay transaction fees. There's all these things that we have to pay that we can't get out of. There's all these videos on a server, so we got thousands of hours of content on a server somewhere. We have to pay that bill. So we charge a very small fee of $12.99 a month for you to be able to get thousands of hours of content, basically everything we've ever provided. And what we're doing there is saying, we're trying to build a place where they can't censor us, and you're going to be able to get this content. So if you're not already on End of the Age Plus, I wouldn't go one more day, because I can't tell you if YouTube's going to email us tonight and say you're off now, like you're not on here anymore. I can't tell you when that's going to happen. We've had Facebook shut our communication down before. We've had email providers say you can't email anybody in your database for a whole week, or I can't remember the exact time frame, a week or two is what it was. They said no more emails from you because of the stuff that you're saying in your emails. And so we're working on being self-sustaining, but that's such a hard thing to do unless you have millions and millions of dollars to play with and build your own systems, which we do not. So we're relying on other systems at this time. And so End of the Age Plus is available. It's very cheap. There's tons of stuff for free that you don't have to pay for. So if you don't have that app already on your phone or your device, if you're already going to watch.endtime.com on your computer, you need to start doing that today, because that's where you're going to get this content from Endtime Ministries. Decades worth of content from Irvin Baxter, new content from Dave, new content from Doug and I, and even others is in the works. You never know what could come up here. So End of the Age Plus is going to be where it's at in the future moving forward. And you need it. So go to watch.endtime.com. There's a 14-day free trial if you want to be a paid member. That does help us pay the bill for all that content that's available for free. Sorry to go down that rant, Doug.
Everybody needs to know where we can be heard, if they want to hear what we're saying, there's going to come a time where we know that teaching people about Jesus is going to get us in big trouble. I mean, the Lord told us that. He said, because of my name, you'll be hated by many nations. Many people are going to come in the name of Jesus proclaiming that they're teaching the way, but it's not going to be the true way. And so they're going to tell people you can get to heaven by any kind of avenue you want to go. There's not one way to get to heaven, but Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And when we're teaching that, there's going to come a time where they're going to shut us down because of that, because of the name of Jesus, and because we say, if you want to get to heaven, you've got to be born again. And teaching people about the gospel of Jesus Christ is going to get us to the point to where we will not be able to be on social media. So people have to know, if you want to hear the truth of the Word of God, if you want to hear the truth of the gospel, where to go. So, yeah, there's my rant. We probably should move on with some of this content we have.
Well, one more thing I'll say is End of the Age Plus is not censored, and neither are physical DVDs.
Yeah.
And so right now we have made, in honor of what would have been Irvin Baxter's, 76th birthday in the month of July, we've made his last production that he did. He recorded the final video just weeks before his passing. It's called Revelation, the Unveiling of Jesus Christ. There's 2 volumes. We're talking about 21 videos, 10 in volume 1, 11 in volume 2, and 2 books that are probably about 600 pages when you count both of them. And so you can get that right now just for the month of July at endtime.com/rev. We've made it a special price in honor of his birthday. Instead of $2.99, it's $150 per volume. You can do interest-free auto donations if you would like at a much more discounted rate, $30 I think for the 1 volume. And if you get both volumes at the same time, I think it goes up to $43. So for $30 today, you could get that process started, and we'll go ahead and ship you the volumes if you do the first payment of $30 for that auto donation setup. So go to endtime.com/rev for that special deal.
The book is beautiful too. I mean, it's beautifully illustrated. Lots of beautiful pictures in the book that, take you right into what Pastor Baxter's talking about there.
Well, we don't have time. We're coming up against a break to get into this article, but I know that we're going to. Biden accuses social media platforms of killing people with the spread of COVID misinformation. So perhaps that's why YouTube's cracked down on us. We said something that they don't agree with or whatever, and so they thought, well, President Biden's saying something about it, we better go ahead and delete this video entirely. I don't know. We're going to talk about that article and more of YouTube censoring Endtime on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere. We look forward to wrapping the show up and making sure that you are aware of what's going on in our world today.
Most of us walk around day by day blind to the prophecies being fulfilled right before us. Every news report brings a new piece to the puzzle in the race towards the final 7 years and the second coming of Jesus Christ. Now, more than ever, it is important for God's people to understand the times in which we are living. On November the 12th, 2013, we opened our Jerusalem Prophecy College in downtown Jerusalem. These same courses are now available online for people who are unable to attend the classes in person. We welcome students to join us and discover the link between current events and the prophecies of the Bible. Take your place in the prophecy of Daniel 11:33. Enroll in the Jerusalem Prophecy College today. Go to JerusalemProphecyCollege.com.
Welcome back to End of the Age. I'm Vince Stegall here with Doug Norvell. Do want to remind you, if you're on Facebook, please share this video. It helps us kind of break up the algorithm a little bit and get out to your friends and family. You can also hit the heart icon instead of the thumbs up. That goes a long way in making sure that other people see it. We have hundreds of thousands of people that follow us on Facebook. The problem is that when we go live every day, only a few hundred of you get the notification because we're kind of being censored, we're being censored by Facebook as well. And so not everyone gets to see when we go live, or they never even get the notification that we went live. And so Help us out by just hitting the share. That's totally free to do. Also hit the heart icon instead of the thumbs up. We appreciate you doing that. Now, Doug, Biden accuses social media platforms of killing people. I want to read that exactly how it's stated. That way, no one can accuse me for saying it.
And this is CBS News.
CBS News. Okay, we got it. That's not Fox or anyone else. CBS says this. President Biden leveled an extraordinary charge against Facebook and other social media platforms on Friday, claiming they are killing people by allowing coronavirus misinformation to spread. The accusation comes as health officials are voicing concern over rising cases of the virus and stalling vaccination rates. They're killing people. This is a quote. I mean it. Really. Look, the only pandemic we have is among the unvaccinated, and they're killing people. Mr. Biden told reporters, echoing comments made by CDC Director Rochelle Walensky earlier on Friday. During a briefing by the White House coronavirus response team, Walensky reported 36% increase in hospitalizations and 26% increase in deaths due to the COVID-19 in the past week. Quote, we are seeing outbreaks of cases in parts of the country that have low vaccination coverage because unvaccinated people are at risk, and communities that are fully vaccinated are generally faring well. Our biggest concern is that we are going to continue to see preventable cases, hospitalizations, and sadly deaths among the unvaccinated. Facebook pushed back against Mr. Biden's comments, saying it's helping save lives by doing everything it can to combat COVID misinformation. Officials are, and that's true, everything that we post on Endtime basically gets that COVID-19 little notice that happens.
Yeah.
And, there's even pop-ups coming up saying, some people would label this radical. Are you sure you want to follow them? You've seen those notices?
Yeah,
It's like, this is crazy. Anyway, it has nothing to do about COVID, and they still put that notice on there. Officials are warning that the pandemic has reached a very dangerous stage. Just weeks after the president declared independence from the virus, new cases are rising in all 50 states for the first time since January. Nationwide, the rate of average daily cases has more than doubled in the last 2 weeks, with new cases highest in states where less than half the people are fully vaccinated: Arkansas, Florida, Missouri, and Nevada. Dr. Fauci, the nation's leading infectious disease expert, blamed the Delta variant. I think simply by reading that article, we're probably going to get some stars from YouTube. That's a good thing.
Well, yeah, because we gave both sides of the argument there, I guess, or maybe just one side, maybe just their side. But, here's the thing, Vince. So in that article that you just read, it said that the unvaccinated people are the only pandemic that we're dealing with. The president said that. Now, I know President Biden says some things sometimes that makes you scratch your head a little bit, at least in my opinion. That's my opinion, not in Tom's opinion. But sometimes he says things that makes me scratch my head. This is one of those times. He says that the unvaccinated people are killing people, okay? And then I go and look, and there's new cases of COVID that are happening even among the vaccinated people. Now, this next article, I've got a picture to show you. I'm sure everybody's seen this because it's been all over social media and it's been on the news. So if we can see the picture, this is the Texas Democrats that traveled. They actually left Texas because they were wanting to keep a vote from happening here within our Texas legislature. But there they are on the plane. You can see them. They're all smiling, giving their peace sign. They're on a private jet. That's not a commercial airline. But none of them have a mask on. Okay, so there were questions about that to begin with. Well, then they came out and they told everybody that they were all vaccinated. So that's why they didn't have a mask on. Now, that's not, you can't fly on a commercial plane, vaccinated or not, Vince, without having a mask on. You have to have a mask on to fly a commercial plane. But yet these people don't have a mask on. And guess what? I don't know if you want to read that article or not, but some of these
I'll let you read it, Doug.
Some of these folks actually came down positive for COVID. So let me just kind of read this a little bit. 3 Democrats from the Texas State House have tested positive for the coronavirus in Washington, D.C. after departing for the nation's capital earlier this week, according to the Texas House Democratic Caucus leadership. The Texas officials...
So I think this was a question asked before, there's about 12 people.
Uh-oh, we got a little bit of our video there that we had the other day. So the Texas officials are among more than 50 lawmakers who fled the state Monday to break a quorum, preventing the GOP-controlled House from passing legislation that the Republicans say looked to strengthen the integrity of elections here within the state. So they left to keep that from happening. The photos posted in social media this week, the departing Democrats were seen maskless aboard a private plane en route to D.C. This comes as mask requirements are still enforced on commercial airplanes. The 3 lawmakers who tested positive for COVID will isolate for 10 days, according to a memo obtained by the Austin American-Statesman. All of them were vaccinated against the virus. Their names were not made publicly available. So all of them were vaccinated. 3 of them are positive. And so my concern is, okay.
Is this your concern or someone else's?
No, I think this is my concern. is that people that have not taken this vaccine are being told that you're killing people.
It says, well, to quote the president, right? That's what we wanted to do.
Right.
Where is that? I can't find it.
It's up in that.
It says, the only pandemic we have is among the unvaccinated, and they're killing people.
Yeah. So
the only pandemic we have is among the unvaccinated.
Yeah.
According to our president.
Yeah. So my question is, are the unvaccinated people making the vaccinated people sick with COVID? Or how'd they get COVID? They got the vaccine. You shouldn't have to worry about COVID anymore.
Well, that's not true.
Right. Apparently, they said that's not true. So apparently, you can still get it even if you get the vaccine. And I know that's true with vaccines. I mean, I know people that had the vaccine for the flu and then they got the flu. But my concern is they're saying that it's people that refuse this vaccination are the ones that are responsible for killing people. That's what worries me.
And the motivation behind those comments are that we need to restrict people more on social media to not get incorrect information out. And then we get blocked.
Right.
Literally the next business day after this statement comes out. I'm not implying that President Biden said, I saw that video Endtime put out and we need to block them.
Right.
But I'm saying that he's encouraging more censorship, and we happen to be a recipient of censorship. Now, Doug, we better get to the calls so they can help bail us out or maybe get us deeper in. Let's see what happens. Cindy from Virginia, welcome to End of the Age.
Hello?
Hi, Cindy. You're on the air.
How you doing? I don't know if you guys know, but Trump has his own media. Did you all know that?
I'm familiar with his website. What makes you bring it up?
Because if you do get censored and you're kicked out, wouldn't you think he would be able to put you on and you'd be able to show your shows without being censored?
Well, we have End of the Age Plus, so we don't need to rely on President Trump to provide that for us. Now, what he did basically on his website was launch a blog. It's not his own social media platform. So he posts things on his page, and it's essentially like a blog. So you can't create an account and interact with him there or anything like that. So what he's done would not be something we would go to. We've already done that with Endtime.com and watch.endtime.com with End of the Age Plus.
Well, I have the End of the Age Plus. I do have that, but I meant for people who don't. That's what I was just saying it for. The ones that you can't reach anymore.
If we were featured on Trump's website, we would love that because he has millions of people that are going there to read what he's posting. And if he would one time just say, go become a member of End of the Age Plus, we would be introduced to a lot more people than we are now. And we believe that's our God-given purpose. So anything that we can do to interact with more people, we would be happy to do. But thanks for the call, Cindy. We appreciate it. We will go to David in Texas. David, welcome to End of the Age.
Really enjoying the show today. I want to kind of put something out there for people to think about. All these illegal aliens that have been coming to our country thanks to the Biden administration for the last 6 months. Are you there?
Yeah, we can hear you, David.
We're there. Do you have a comment about the censorship situation?
Well, I still stand by my First Amendment rights. I cannot be censored. If you do that to me as an American citizen, you should be able to be picked up and go to jail for trying to do that to a private citizen. So I still stand on that myself.
So you don't like what YouTube and Facebook are doing?
I'm not even on the internet because I know what that was going to be used for, the mark of the beast stuff, and I don't want to be a participant on that. I'm sorry that y'all have to be, but y'all do have to be out there.
So you listen to us on the radio?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And that's so if you ever leave the radio, you'll leave me. So that's all we're doing.
Well, we don't plan on leaving the radio. We do appreciate you calling. We always appreciate your call, David. We're coming up on the end of the show, so we can't go into much more than that, but we do appreciate your call. Thank you for calling. And yeah, we're on radio stations all around the United States and some internationally. You can go to our website to find our full schedule there. We're on Daystar and many other television networks around the globe. So we're on all over the place. Like I said before, we believe it's our God-given mission to get out there and be able to share this message with anybody that we possibly can. And so we're going to do that through whatever means possible. And so go to endtime.com and check out our listings there. And again, you can go to watch.endtime.com and access us 24/7 on demand through End of the Age Plus. Doug, before we wrap it up, we've got a minute left. You want to leave our viewers with anything?
Yeah, I mean, Vince, I just want to tell everybody, we are living in a time that we've never been through anything like this before. And the Bible tells us that there's a time that's coming, and it's going to be even worse than this. I mean, the thing is that we have to continue as Christians to help others understand what the Word of God says, to help others come to Jesus, to be born again. And we can teach them through, understanding these prophecies. These prophecies are there to let us know what was going to happen so that it would build our faith. That's what Jesus told us. And so that's why we use the prophecies. That's why we can take an article like we talked about today and put it with biblical prophecy and show people, hey, this is coming.
Yep, and our job is to eliminate fear and enhance hope inside of you and peace and understanding. And so we do that through Jerusalem Prophecy College. We do it through this show. We have many ways that we do it. If you want to help us to continue to make it available for free, go to endtime.com/give and become a one-time or recurring partner. We'd appreciate it very much. We'll see you tomorrow, 3 p.m. Central Time.
This has been End of the Age, brought to you by the faithful partners of Endtime Ministries. If you're not currently a partner with Endtime Ministries, or if you would like more information, we invite you to call us at 1-800-ENDTIME. That's 1-800-363-8463, or visit us online at endtime.com.
Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our Facebook page.